Hi, Harper's BAZAAR. I'm Brie Larson, and I will be trying to remember my lines from previous roles. This is gonna be a disaster. I've been fighting with blank, blank, blank behind my back, but what happens when I'm blank, blank, blank? Okay, I think I know this. I've been fighting with one arm tied behind my back, but what happens when I'm finally set free? I've been fighting with one arm tied behind my back, but what happens when I'm finally set free? Yeah! All right. Whew. There's no words here. This one is no, I'm your blank. So sometimes I have to blank, 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 blank. No, I'm your best friend. So sometimes I have to listen to your deepest, darkest secrets. One of my favorite pieces of dialogue from that great buddy comedy I did called You've Got a Friend in Me.
No, I'm your ma, so sometimes I have to pick for the both of us.
Wow, I think the one I did was happier than the actual line. I think I purposely deleted that one from my brain for obvious reasons. Room was extremely heavy, it was hard. It took me a really long time to let that character go. And I learned a lot from her, but it's an interesting part of my job to have to like stare into the darkness and the void of humanity in ways that you wouldn't want to normally, but it's a cool thing too. What? He told me to make myself at home, so I went to his office, blank, 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 and drunk ordered a bunch of blank, blank, blank. Whatever this is, my mom should not have let me say this. Went to his office, printed some headshots, and drunk ordered a bunch of Pez candy dispensers.
He told me to make myself at home, so I went into his office, took off my bra, and drunk ordered a bunch of quilts on Etsy.
That's not even fair. That is not even fair. That is not even fair. Cut that. You're cutting that one. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not even a line from a thing. That's too deep. I would definitely, let me make this very clear. I would definitely do a guest host gig again. Let me know if you need any materials sent. I've got a reel, learning how to like pay attention to the clock and like commercial breaks and all of that. It's one of those things that like, I felt similarly when I did SNL. You're just like trying to survive, and then by the end of it, you're like, that was really fun. I want to do it again because now I could do it better. All right. Switching engines from blank to blank. Buckle up, folks. This is probably from Captain Marvel, which means it's jargon. So it's probably like switching engines from it's like Vectorville to hyperspeed. Switching engines from scramjet to fusion. Buckle up, folks. From scramjet to fusion. I think mine made just as much sense. I think a lot of time people think that we're being coy when we're like, I don't know, but like I genuinely don't. I don't know. Like I could be in the soundstage right next to Ant-Man and I have no clue. Like if my key card doesn't work over there. So my surprise is that there's no surprises. All right. No, you don't. That's a creepy guy. You don't want to be with that guy. Blank, 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 blank is in jail. You know what I mean? Okay, this is from Trainwreck, right? Something like best sex of your life, guy is in jail? No, you don't. That's a creepy guy. You don't want to be with that guy. Best sex that you've ever had, guy is in jail. You know what I mean? Good for me. Gosh, wow. Hey, do you know when you order the salad at Barnaby's, it's actually not hard-boiled eggs. It's this tube of egg-colored stuff called blank, and they also refill all of the condiments with blank instead of Heinz, and they reuse the blank. It's this tube of egg-colored stuff called like egg knot or something, and they also refill the condiments with what would you fill condiments with instead of Heinz? Fill condiments with water instead of Heinz, and they reuse the napkins. I know this is from United States of Tara. Whoever wrote this is a genius because I can't figure it out.
Hey, do you know when you order the salad at Barnaby's, it's actually not hard-boiled egg? It's this tube of egg-colored stuff called Eggular. Ooh, and they also refill all of the condiments with generic instead of Heinz. And they reuse the breadsticks.
Reuse the breadsticks, of course. Beautiful. I do remember that there's like the boss from there. He says it's the little deets that make a big diff. So if you had done that one, I would have gotten it. So you know. United States of Tara was my dream job. Toni Collette, she was my number one. I was absolutely, completely obsessed with her. And so when the opportunity came to do a show playing her daughter, it felt like it was my destiny, and I was terrified, and also it was just the greatest honor. I felt like I got to go to school with my hero, and yeah, it really changed my life. Wow, I had like a sincere answer. That's cool. Anyway. Oh, okay, here we go. Make sure this one makes it in the video. Short answer. Being blank just makes you blank than most people. I know this one. Short answer. Being vegan just makes you better than most people. Haha.
Short answer, being vegan just makes you better than most people.
I was already blank when you happened to blank, 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 blank. The two events were not related. What the heck? I was already famous when you happened to see me on that poster. The two events were not related. I was already slipping when you happened to punch me in the face. The two events were not related. Face, the two events were not related. Yeah, that's from Captain Marvel. In Captain Marvel, it's her origin story, and so it was fun getting to play her powers being restrained, even though she doesn't realize that her powers are restrained. She thinks that this device is actually giving her powers when in reality it's what's holding her back. And so to go through this arc of training and getting to do a lot of combat training, now that we're further along, pretty powerful. Not that I don't have to train and know how to throw a punch and stuff, but it's just different. But you also get like, on the first movie, I had like a strange sense. You get warped in terms of strength because you go to punch someone and it's a wire gag, so the person flies, you know, across the way. And so at a certain point you start to get it in your head that like that's reality, because is your reality. Yeah, I had a rude awakening when I realized I wasn't as strong as I thought. It's okay. It's nothing, Mom. It's just sometimes you make me feel like I'm living in some sort of reality TV show drama. Is this from United States of Tara? Yeah. Sometimes you make me feel like I'm living in some sort of sitcom, dramedy, disaster show. I'm trying to think of what Kate would think her life was like. Anyway.
It's nothing, Mom. It's just sometimes you make me feel like I'm living in some sort of Lifetime Lady Tampon movie.
Yes, Lifetime Lady Tampon movie. Yeah, that's iconic. I forgot about that. I don't know if people know this, but I just made like a weird character choice that I don't think I ever told anybody, that for the second season, I decided that she was stoned the entire show, which like no one told me to do. I just thought it would be funny. So I just played it like a stoner the whole time. That's the fun of doing a TV show. You just make stuff up. Well, thanks, Harper's Bazaar. It was wonderful being here with you and realizing just how absolutely embarrassing it is to not remember anything from your past, because you know, it's all about the present and like also about the future too.